Oh look, it's Spain, doing Spain things in 1477, waging war, being Catholic, and fighting Moors for land. I hope nothing bad happens. Ah, look, they're doing an Inquisition. I did not expect this Spanish Inquisition. Why are they doing that? Let's use the orb real quick and find out. I'm feeling 1391. A mob is assaulting the Jewish quarter of Valencia. They're killing and forcibly converting the Jewish people there. They killed 4,000 people. Oh look, it's basically all the other 200,000 Jews in Spain converting to Catholicism. If I were to guess, it's probably because they like stained glass. And they want to avoid violent death. All Jewish people who did not convert were expelled from Spain. Similar events occurred to the Moor population in the land that was acquired in the Reconquista. These groups became known as the Conversos and the Moriscos. They were discriminated against socially for their heritage, but were allowed to reach high places of power. As the Reconquista and the War of Secession raged, Spanish society took a turn for the worse. There was mass unrest and protests in the streets. Instead of stopping all the wars or helping their people, Queen Isabella's priest began preaching anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, and questioned the faith of Conversos and Moriscos that had embedded themselves throughout Spanish society and used them as a scapegoat for the issues plaguing the nation. Soon after this, as national animus has been stoked, the Spanish Inquisition started. In comparison to the other medieval inquisitions ran by the church and concurrent judicial systems, the Spanish Inquisition was fairly level-headed. In spite of this, the level-headed for the time is rather horrific. The Inquisition only had authority to inquire about a person's validity of faith to the Catholic Church. They could not prosecute someone for criminal activity. The rough process is that they would enter a town and announce their presence by attending Sunday Mass. Then they would gather accusations and evidence from the community. Supposed crimes could be infractions as small as not working on the Sabbath or forgetting to attend Sunday Mass, to practicing family traditions that were descended from Jewish or Muslim celebrations, but their origins forgotten. After this, they would proceed to talk with the accused. If the accused failed to defend themselves or confess, they were tortured. There were 3 main methods, each crueler than the last. They might hang somebody by their hands above a raging fire until they confessed. Or they would bind their limbs to a wheel and roll them. Or the worst, the strappado. A person would be suspended at a great height, hung with their hands and feet tied together, and then heavy weights were attached to intensify the pain. All confessions secured by torture needed to be corroborated the next day without torture, or they were considered invalid, and a person could only be tortured once. Torture was only used on about 12% of the roughly 300,000 accused during the Inquisition, and death was even rarer. If a person could not defend themselves and confessed for their crimes, they were given penances. Some were public confessions of crimes, joining a monastery, and going to seminary. But the Inquisition was unable to enforce these punishments, as penances were not legal sentences. But the Inquisition did kill many people across the 350 years the institution was operational. They killed around 5,000 to 10,000 people for the crime of being Muslim or Jewish in a Catholic nation. The Spanish Inquisition was dissolved in 1834 by Queen Isabella II. Its influence had been declining for centuries, and its usefulness had been exhausted. While the Spanish Inquisition was horrible, and it should be remembered for its brutality, it should not be thought of as unique for its period. At the same time in Britain alone, 30,000 people were murdered for witchcraft, while similar events were not uncommon throughout the rest of Europe. In spite of this, it was an inflection point of anti-Semitism that contributed to a long history of violence and oppression of Jewish people throughout European history, as well as one of Islamophobia that is being utilized by parties like the AfD in Germany to spark racist movements.
I never really knew that he would preach like this, cause the sermon's supposed to be a 10. De nobis pecuniam.
Si.
Atuli.
Seek.
Etori.
Seek. Oh, Luther, when you tell I like that! You make the people go mad. So be wise.
Seek.
And shut up.
Seek.
Take down the signs on the church door.
We're right tonight, you know the Pope don't lie, so start to feel fire.
purgatory in the priesthood. Let's corrupt, but our wallets look real good. And this is just dance break.
Yeah.
Dance break.
That
We
was
just want to honestly
okay.
fully edit it out.
Yeah.
Because that means we have to do
We can say whatever we want, and it will not be
Liberals.
Yeah, liberal.
Oh, I have
liberals.
idea. We could also do it like
Okay, I think Patrick, you're about to come in.
pause it occasionally.
You didn't know that we could counter-reform like this? In our church, we speak Latin. Agnusi.
Si.
Inadurnium.
Si.
Et vihemes.
Doctrine just like this to make our clergy not mad. So be wise
Si.
and pay tithes.
Si.
Don't throw us out the window.
It works tonight, you know the Pope don't Latin. Up in here is trend time. Faith and good works to get to heaven. This decree is a great new addition. Still can't divorce tonight, you know the Pope don't like, cause Henry's a real weird guy.
Because 6 wives is excessive. You even killed some, and that seems obsessive.
Second dance break.
Yeah, let's just edit that, I think. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If this last part goes well, do you think we could retake just the first couple lines?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because since we're editing out the dance break,
Yeah.
we can mishmash it.
We'll excommunicate you for an act like this because it makes you mad.